Alright, hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Rob here at Some Rick and Gun Reviews, back to talk some more about some new stuff. It is like 7 something in the morning. It is my birthday. And so the first thing I'm reviewing is episode 1 of season 1 of the Amazon Prime original programming called The Boys. It's a very cynical and pessimistic look at what superheroes would really be like in this day and age. Very much kind of like a new version of Watchmen, except like who watches the Watchmen, you know, kind of thing. Like I always wondered, like, well, in this world there's some people that watch the Watchmen and they were watching them and now they're gonna punish them. This is from Garth Ennis, who also gave us Preacher and Constantine, so it makes sense that Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg were producing this because of their, you know, relationship with Ennis and Preacher, and how that show's awesome. And so going into this, I'm not going to say I was overly hyped or anything, because I kind of stayed away from the trailers. I think I watched part of one and I stayed away from the rest because I got the premise. And the whole idea of superheroes getting put in their place and stuff seemed like a fun idea to me. But this is very cynical and very pessimistic, but in, I guess, the best possible way, because it kind of gives me that I look at how things are today and how everything is corporations and how these superheroes, these are basically just now, they're a big corporation. That's what it would be. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, we're going to play you the trailer for Boys, just to give you a little heads up on what to expect from the show and what we'll be talking about in these reviews. So, be right back.
The greatest superhero team the world's ever seen. The Seven.
Is there anything I can help you with?
I'm not gonna piss you about, Huey. I heard what happened to Robin. You ain't alone, son. Soups lose hundreds of people each year to collateral damage.
I can't stop. I can't stop.
Robin!
They were my business on the front page.
That's where I mean the boys are coming.
I never wanted to ever be over.
Spank the bastards when they get out of line.
Can you control her, please?
You need to unclench your asshole.
Why are you two carrying on like a bunch of fucking twins?
Who the fuck is this?
We got a fucking job to do.
I'm invincible, stupid motherfuckers.
I'm the world's greatest superhero. I can do whatever the fuck I want. We're on the verge of nailing these wankers.
I'm done.
Oi, what's Sporty Spice up to? Who? Sporty fucking Spice, what's she up to?
I don't know.
And baby, not even page 6 of the Daily Mail. You see, when they're apart, they're absolute fucking rubbish. But you put them together, they're the goddamn fucking Spice Girls. The point is, we need each other, or we're fucking dead in the water.
Jesus, he gives the worst pep talks.
He really, really does.
I can't do this.
You just pulled the fucking trigger!
Sorry!
We're the Seven. Earth's most mighty, motherfucker!
Please, 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 no, please.
Pardon my French. Fuck those fuckers.
If you wanna be my lover.
Alright everybody, so if you hadn't already seen the trailer and you didn't know what this was about or you needed a refresher, there you go. So, like I said, this is very pessimistic and cynical. But like Watchmen, in its time, it was the thing. What would it really be like? What would the world be like with real superheroes in it? And for the time in the 80s, you know, talking about that culture, it fits. And now that we jump ahead all these years and we've got this story where corporations in our world run everything, they pretty much, I feel like they control way too much. But I mean, that's Durhay, right? And in this, it's basically brought up that they're all bad. They're all bad. Except for you get this one character who plays Starlight, played by Erin Moriarty, who's got that shine, that brand new superhero shine, where she's coming right out of the box, ready to help people. And you kind of get the feeling that maybe they all started out this way, but just it's the corporate greed and everything else that changes them, you know, where you take the good things about somebody and and they squeeze it all out until all that's left is just these entitled pieces of shit who are protected from on high, who really could just, I mean, this could be injustice, right? I mean, if they wanted to, they could just burn it all down. But in order to probably not have everybody attack them, they've got corporations to cover their ass. So every time they murder somebody or just plain fuck up, even when they're maybe trying to do good, they've got these people that can just hush it all up. And it also speaks to our culture, like how everybody's got a price. But this show is led by Carl Urban, who plays Billy Butcher, who, come on, Carl Urban is one of... I love Carl Urban. His dread is amazing. He's one of those guys that I will see in just about anything. Jack Quaid, I thought was going to be kind of a one-note character. Who he plays, Huey Campbell, our kind of other hero in this. I mean, you got Billy, who's like the anti-hero, and you got Huey, who's like the real everyday person that deals with this kind of thing. He loses his girlfriend to a tragic accident. Like I said, if I haven't said it already, full spoilers, you haven't seen this episode. So they're just on the street having a random day, just whatever, talking about shit, and she is completely obliterated in front of him. Literally disintegrated by one of the superheroes that's basically like this world's Flash, called A-Train. He runs through her, he hits her so hard she disintegrates. And all that's left are her hands. You also find out that he swallowed one of her teeth as he went through her. And so this poor guy is now being asked to sign away his complaints and anything that he could say about this for $45,000. And it's just, it sets up that world of like, what do you do? And he won't do it. He wants to think about it. And immediately you're like, dude, I can see where this world would just turn on you. Like, you say no, they'll just kill you. And then we have Starlight. So Starlight's this, like, I almost felt like we were watching like a reality show, like you know, the little princesses and tiaras kind of thing. The girls who have to do pageants and stuff. She felt like one of those kind of girls. Who was her mom, you know, they've got these ideals, you know, she's got these ideals, but her mom is also there, kind of like her coach, her like cheerleader in a way. But it reminded me of that. Toddlers and Tiaras, that's what it made me think of somebody who's been trained to be this way, but ideally she's a good person. She has goodness in her heart, but we find out that even she has a price, and she doesn't like it. So she gets to be part of this group called the Seven, which is this world's Justice League. And she finds out very quickly what it takes to be a superhero in this world, or at least to be an accepted hero. Because they can ruin you, they can bring you up, but they can also take you down just as quickly. And again, that's just so fucking true about everything that happens these days. You can be on top of the world, say the wrong thing, or the right person says a lie about you, and your whole world is ruined. And in this situation, she's brought in by just, these people. She's brought in to the world, introduced by Elizabeth Shue from, of all, I don't know if she's cast right in this. I have to see more episodes, but it's just really hard to see Elizabeth Shue be the corporate bad guy. I don't quite, I don't know. It's a nice change of pace, but again, like I said, I need to see more episodes to fully see if they're going to flesh out her character, or is she just a token corporate asshole. But I love seeing her and stuff. I mean, Adventures in Babysitting, man. That, yeah. But she introduces us to the character of the Deep, who's this universe's Aquaman. And he takes her up to their, big old, like, boardroom, kind of like the Justice League's Watchtower, except it's a frickin' high-rise. And immediately I go, how is this going to go back? What's going to happen? And he pulls a fucking Louis C.K. and drops his goddamn pants in front of her. And, you find out he's like, look, you either do this or I can just have you out of here already. And that's dark. That's some dark shit already. We're talking Harvey Weinstein level shit. And it is a little bang over the head. I would have thought that this would have been a little more insidious kind of situation. Not just, let's just jump right to the fucking... Let's build up to it. Like, I would have thought that the character would have given a little time to, like, integrate herself, and when she got comfortable, then something like this would happen. And I guess maybe that's even darker, is to feel like you're doing good, and then all of a sudden, hey, guess what? We're gonna rape you. But in the description of the episode, they says there's a rape in this, and while it felt like a rape, it's like, well, you made the decision to stay, right? If you're so good, if you're so, like, I know what like the character even says, like, I felt like I can do good, so I did this one thing to do the good that I want to do. I did the thing that I said, that I would never do, or something I would never think of doing, but I did it in order to help people. But I think that's just something that people tell themselves. There's other, like, you make that concession, even if it's not right. That person should not be in that position. These are bad people making people do things, but it's the people that go along with it. The longer that nobody ever stands up for something, it keeps going. And I know this is a touchy subject, because I'm not trying to attack her, but it's like her character, her fictional character, by the way. It really like made my stomach just kind of be like, ugh, like we're already going this dark, which is fine, I guess. It's just it changes the character. The character needed this to be what she is later, and this is where I have a little problem, is that Huey's character is introduced to Billy the Butcher, who says he's a Fed, played by Carl Urban, who's just great. And I love that they just let him be himself. Like, he doesn't have to be an American. He gets to just be Australian or New Zealand. I can't remember which one he's from. But he comes in and convinces Huey that we can do something about this. I'm a Fed. We're gonna go in and take these guys down. We're gonna get the guy who got your girlfriend. But he doesn't want to do it. He says, "This is your only chance." And then somehow he just ends up on a park bench with no, like, just somehow happenstance to be sitting next to Starlight after her thing and after his thing. And if it was somewhere that he was supposed to be, like, if was this set up? Because otherwise, that's just way too coincidental. Like, you need some sort of reasoning. They just literally just show up on a park bench next to each other. And then it goes, like, and then he just finds Billy Butcher at the bar. Did we establish that Billy said where he'd be? And it's just, there's a few things like that where they're just suddenly in the spot that they need to be for the scene with no explanation of how they got there. Not saying, no information of saying, oh, this is where that person is, or this is where that person is. Like, it's just, that's very, very convenient. And it's just a little thing, but it definitely was like, took me out of it for a second, because I started going, wait a minute, I was paying attention. How did he get here? How did he know where that was? There's a few times like that where we just jump right in. And that's not always a bad thing. I mean, comic books do that sometimes, but TV shows, you need to like have a structure that's, I don't know. It creates plot holes, things like that. This is just small stuff. But getting back into it, and I mean, at least we get that scene. I guess we needed the scene for her talking about how she did this thing and she feels bad about it, so we can set up that you can know that she'll be the in later, like she'll be the one to side with help these guys out. I like also that Carl Urban's Billy is just playing Huey. It's just he's just another pawn. Like even the vigilantes who want to go after the heroes are willing to put innocent people in harm's way to get what they want. Thankfully, though, things change by the end of the episode when Billy sees that Huey can actually offer some, actual help. Also, like that Simon Pegg is Huey's dad. Great American accent, by the way. And it's kind of a thankless role right now. It's only one episode in, but he's basically the other part of this audience saying, like, you just gotta sign these papers, man. Just do it. You're not a fighter. I'm not a fighter either. None of us will. They'll kill you. La la la. And him seeing his dad and going like, do I want to be like him, or am I gonna stand up for something? I mean, I honestly think that role could have gone to anyone, but Simon Pegg was in Paul, so which is another Seth Rogen thing, so it makes sense a little bit. There's no small roles. It's just a little weird. And there's a whole bunch of people that are like, is it weird that I don't know who Chase Crawford is? He's got one of those names that just makes me go, oh yeah, he's a definite like millennium name. That's a millennium name, Chase. I saw he's in Gossip Girl. Okay, so that's why I don't know who he is. Anthony Starr's Homelander I knew that he was going to be bad because they were saying there's nothing on him, and I'm like, of course there's nothing on the Superman. That's the one that they would protect on high, and if he probably can take care of himself, as you find out later on. Dominique McElligott plays Queen Maeve, who is basically this world's Wonder Woman. I remember her from Hell on Wheels on AMC. I loved her on that. But it's just so hard seeing these people playing these versions of people that we like be so awful. A-Train, he seems pretty unremorseful for what he does. I haven't introduced everybody. Let's see. Black Noir, we just saw him with a mask on. Ashley, played by Colby Minifie. She was in Jessica Jones. She was that maniac neighbor of hers. And she's got crazy eyes. And she's like the person, one of the corporate people that ushers them around, ushers the heroes around, like, this is where you go, this is what you say, this is what you do. And she's pretty perfect in this role, actually. Ann Cusack, another Cusack, plays Starlight's mom, who's just so proud that Starlight can't tell her what happened to her because she feels like she'd be disappointing her. Again, it's a character choice. I mean, Starlight's so powerful. If she really wanted to do something, she could do it. I don't know. But the story needs her to be this way, which is whatever. Like, it's easy for me to say what I do, But it plays into the whole, like, it's hard for people to tell people that they were in that situation. It's hard for people to, because you think nobody's going to believe you. It's superheroes. But she's also a superhero. So it's like, I don't know. Alex Hassel as Translucent. He's fucking gross. And we get full frontal nudity from him. His powers are invisibility. His skin is like this carbon fiber that he has to be naked to be invisible, but it's pretty cool how they show it. But he's just a pervert who hangs out in the fucking women's bathroom. And it's just like, of course he is. Like, we joke, like, what would you do if you were invisible? Go in a women's locker room. Well, they literally basically do that, and now that you see what that would be like, don't you feel like a pervert for wanting to do that. Because they don't gussy it up, man. They make it all really ugly. We also see that they've got, like, in Marvel Comics, there's the bar with no name, where heroes go to just do whatever. Nobody bothers them. It's like a no fighting zone. Heroes have their own bar where they basically can do, it's like one big fucking drug, sex, orgy thing going on in there, where all their things that they hide from the world are just right out in the open. People banging in the air, guys that are promoting anti-homosexual stuff are secretly living a gay lifestyle, but then telling everybody else not to be gay. You find out that A-Train jokes about killing his girlfriend by running through her, calling her the bitch. They ran through the bitch. Like, just so they make sure that you don't care. Even when it comes to the two main superheroes, Maeve and freaking Homelander. Of course, his name is Homelander. It's perfect. That they would be just as, like, shallow and callous and evil at this point. Like when she tells Starlight to clean herself up and don't let anybody see you like that, knowing what she's been through. And probably gone through the same thing, but now she's basically just another part of the problem. It's just messed up. Also, like, the selling of superheroes to cities scene was pretty good. In fact, that was one of my favorite scenes, just watching, like, talking about Baltimore and how they basically, the whole city is like one big clusterfuck of murder, but I thought that was always Baltimore. No offense, but that's all I ever hear about Baltimore is murder, 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 murder. But how they'll sell one of their heroes to them for 3 years for $300 million, and then the other guy, the mayor is like, well, sure, but, we know secrets, and you just know, it's like, don't fuck with, you either want it or you don't. They're talking about blackmailing people that could just obliterate you in a second. But it was just interesting watching them bargaining over the safety of people. There's a line about somebody was talking on the TV in the episode about privatizing war with superheroes, pretty much. And we see what happens to him for blackmailing them. They go down in their price, but then Homelander is up in the air. And this is the end of the episode, but I'm just talking about it now. He's got the autograph for his kid. They're flying back to Baltimore. Homelander's flying there, and the kid's like, oh, cool. Like, maybe this is, like, part of the deal that Homelander has to, wave and say hi. And I was like, nope, that's not why he's there. Now, the question is, did the corporation send him, or did they tell him, hey, this guy knows about Compound B, which is like, or whatever it was called, some sort of steroid or drug for superheroes, or maybe it's making superheroes, I don't know, yet. I didn't read the comic, so I actually feel really bad that I didn't read the comic. But it took me a while to read Preacher, too, so after the fact. But no, he blows them out of the sky with his heat vision, and it's an actually really, really good effect. Coming from, like, after just watching Another Life's pilot episode, this is way better as far as, like, the way it looks, and the special effects and stuff are pretty fucking great. And that whole thing, like, even though I was like, man, he just killed everybody on that plane with a smile on his face and a song in his heart. And so that's the kind of world we're in. Everything is just dirty, and the few people that do stand up don't stand much of a chance right now. We haven't been introduced to the full group of people. We just have Billy right now and Huey. Billy talks Huey into taking a bug into the headquarters of the Seven in a cell phone. What he's going to do is pretend to take the deal. Well, actually take the deal for the $45,000, but he needs an apology from A-Train. We get in there, and, everything seems to kind of go all right until, of course, he drops the bug on the ground. Can't get it. Starlight comes in. She leaves. He picks it up off the ground, and we see that the pervert, the translucent guy, he's been in there again and sees what's happening. So we know that even though he puts, he gets everything done, translucent follows him home. And this is where I was like, okay, so Billy just basically tells him, guess what? Didn't need you. You just did what I needed you to do. And so see ya. Now, of course, Huey kind of shows him up, because now that we know that he's not a Fed, he's not a cop, he's not nothing. I mean, honestly, we all know it. It's, even though from the trailer you can tell that he's not going to be a Fed, but anybody who believes this guy was a Fed or a cop walking around in like his Hawaiian shirt and stuff, I guess he could say he's undercover. But I mean, again, talking about where he's from, it's like, I didn't know that the FBI, had people from Australia. But it doesn't matter. It's a small thing. But when he sees Huey rip up the check, I don't know if he came back because he wanted to check up on him, or if I think it was just part of the plan, that he knew that, like Huey said, I'm going to fuck this up. I'm going to fuck this up, and I'm going to be dead. And I think that that's, again, another cynical part of it is, I think Billy knew he was going to be followed back, that it was going to be obvious. You don't go in there and be like, oh, I got to take a shit. And so he uses this opportunity to watch Translucent go into the store and proceed to beat the shit out of Huey, who's going to kill him. But instead, Billy drives his car straight into the electronics store, hitting the naked Translucent man across the entire, and that was, again, a cool, this whole scene was incredible. I loved watching a guy like who's invisible have to fight everybody, and yeah, they probably did a little motion capture here, which is still pretty cool, but like how he finds him, he lets him get bloodied up so that he can spit the blood in his face so he can see him now. And it's a really cool fight. And then we get, like, the tables are turned, and we get a crowbar Joker situation where he's going to kill Billy for, if he doesn't tell him, who's with you and all this. But Huey gets the drop, well, almost gets the drop on Translucent Man by electrocuting him, but the cord doesn't go out all the way. So Billy has to kick him into the electric cord, where Billy proceeds to literally shock the fuck out of his balls. Is he dead? I don't know. But they're in trouble, and they got to get the body out of there. And that's kind of how it ends. Well, it ended with the plane going down. But, I don't know, pretty damn good start. I'm glad that I'm able to review something on, the first thing I'm reviewing today is something positive, even though it's very, like I said, this is cynical as fuck. But it's really entertaining. It really makes you think about how superheroes would really be. It makes you realize, like, these people are bad, but again, corporations are worse, and they're, corporations and privatizing superheroes, that would so be a fucking thing. It would so be a thing. And would they all turn bad? I don't know. I mean, it makes me sad for the species to think that that's really what it would be like, that we all are like, I want to be Superman, and know that so many people would go down this path. I'd like to think that I wouldn't if I suddenly had superhero abilities, but some people, I don't know. Maybe when we find out more about why this is all going on, like how this all started with privatizing the heroes, like maybe we'll find out that they weren't always bad. It's not going to change the fact that I want them all to get fucking killed. It doesn't help. I mean, it doesn't hurt either that they've shown them with almost no redeemable qualities whatsoever, and that even when you see them in front of people like going, hey, and doing good, it's just like the doing good part is just so that they can do everything else. It's crazy. It's like the opposite of what Starlight does. Like, she did we presume she gave him head or worse to do good. These people are doing good so that they can do bad and make a lot of money. I realize I probably didn't cover everything, but I think I pretty much got the gist of it. I've got to get ready pretty soon because I'm going to see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood in a little while. So I'm going to take a little bit of a nap because it's like a 2.5-hour movie. So anyway, I do plan on reviewing this, but at my own pace. So if you expect a whole bunch of these all at once, that's not going to happen. But we will get through this, same as Orange is the New Black is coming as well. We're going to space that out as well, so we'll get to all that too. But in the meantime, if you liked this review, please hit the like button. If you're not a subscriber, please be a subscriber. Otherwise, hit the bell for all notifications. Share this to your friends if you like it. Yeah, so this is Robin Smirking Gun Review saying have a great day, and we will see you on the next episode. Bye.